car, I said. She grabbed my hand, girls rescue, met the bar, witness said. Tears fled the head, I'm weak, not dead. She tweet, I guess she confessed. She thinking less, not drinking less. Bathroom says, investigate, spontaneous. I stereotype, put to rest tonight. Imagine, believe, and achieve, it works. Skyline as a rise like fireworks.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to After the Storm. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and tonight we'll be talking about the Thunder versus the Grizz tonight. Thunder falls short 118 to 125. Great game by the Thunder tonight. We did everything we can to keep up with them. And Memphis, which is weird, is one of the teams that we seem to match up well. Now, I don't know if it's because they beat us by 70 earlier in the year, and that might have a lot to do with it. And, the pride kicks in, and they're just like, yeah, no, we can't have that. So that might have a lot to do with it, but I'm proud of what the Thunder did. Memphis came out and tried to hit us in the mouth in the second half, and, we fought back, and I'm proud of this. But like I said, we went down 118 to 125, falling to 20 and 47 on the year, while Memphis improved to 47 and 21. And of course, they're chasing that second spot, and the Warriors, who beat down the defending champions Milwaukee Bucks behind Klay Thompson's 38, and looks like he's kind of back. So, but anyway, let's get into the game. Thunder, of course, we started out, which was kind of weird at the beginning of the game. Memphis showed up in white. The Thunder had on white. So clearly, one of the teams was dressed wrongly. Okay, turned out to be the Grizz. They were supposed to be in away blue instead of the white. So I thought that was interesting to start the game. And I thought that would actually be in our favor that they messed up, because that kind of got them out of sorts. And I thought that would help us out quite a bit, but it ended up did not happen that way. Memphis just came out and beat us up. But anyway, we started out the game with SGA, Maladon, Mann, Baisley, and Roby, which, was a decent lineup. I can't really complain about that lineup. But, my keys to the game were simple. Try to cut down their athleticism by defending by committee. And I talk about being everything by committee. I talk about that all the time. Not allowing teams to, get to the basket, everybody boxing out, people getting out, getting their hands up, not allowing easy shots, which was another one of my keys, was to stop the penetration by committee. Then when they do get it there, somebody get your hand out in their face on rotation on 3-point shots, and not let them shoot wide open jump shots. Don't get into a transition battle with them, because they're just, they lead the league in transition baskets because they're so young, so fast, so athletic. Ed by John Moran, of course. And then let's not get caught up on shooting a bunch of threes. We can't rely on the three. That's just not our game. We don't have the shooters for that. Even though guys fall in love with it and think they can shoot, if you make a couple, doesn't mean you can actually necessarily start shooting them. No, it's not like that at all. So those are my keys to the game. And I thought that Maladon did a great job on Ja at the beginning. He scored no points in the first quarter. I thought he did a fantastic job on him, keeping him from getting in a rhythm, but everybody else was killing Bane, and everybody else was just knocking down shots left and right, simply because, what did I say? Get your hand up in their face. Don't allow them to attack the basket. Don't let them to get what they want. And, so in the first quarter, they did a lot of that. And I will say that Lindy, water under the bridge, knocked down some shots, and he had a great first half, great first quarter. And the score, our percentage points at the end of the first quarter was simple. Threes, we were 3 for 11. They were 5 for 10. Like I said, we were not getting our hands up in their face. They were shooting wide open shots, things that I talked about that we needed to stop. We were shooting 40% from the field. They were shooting 60, and rebounds 15-7. And that's simply because Steven Adams, as we know, as we've seen over the years, he's just a monster inside with offensive rebounds. He's just an absolute load. And then, of course, points in the paint, my PIP, is 12 to 22. And that's simply because of Steven Adams, once again, getting his hands on the ball, getting extra rebounds, kicking it out, giving them an extra shot, giving them an extra possession, just beat us up. So at the end of the first quarter, Thunder were down 26-38. Even though we were down 12, we really hadn't played that bad, I didn't think. I thought we played better than what the score actually was saying. I thought the game was closer, to be honest. I thought we did a very good job with them kind of keeping it close. But we started the second quarter with Man, Poku, Waters, Baisley, and Kreshki. Now, you've those of you who've seen my live stream, y'all know that I'm not a fan of this lineup simply because we really can't really defend that well, and you know how I feel about this lineup. Now, I don't mind if we're making shots because if this lineup is making shots, then that helps them and their liabilities on the other side of the basketball. But then the advantage also is when teams look at that, they're going to try to force the ball and do things that they normally would not do because they're looking at that guy like, oh, look at that, man. That's an easy sandwich. Let me go and take care of that and hit this dude for a couple. And so that ended up happening, and we took advantage of that in the second quarter. But the thing I loved about this group, what they did do, which they normally don't do, we started out aggressive. We weren't really selling for a bunch of threes, but attacking the basket. That being said, Lindy Waters was knocking down shots left to right. Okay, and the fact that Thunder was 7 for 21 for threes for the half. Lindy Waters had four of those. He's 4 for 7. The team as a whole was 3 for 14. But the thing about Lindy is, like I've said, Lindy water under the bridge, is that he can knock down shots in the G League. He was shooting 51%. It's not the G League. And he starts fast, and he does this every game. He comes out and he knocks down shots early, but after a while, he really doesn't finish at the end of games because teams understand who he is, and once they realize, okay, this is what this guy's doing, they kind of take that away from him. Like I said, I like Lindy. He's an OSU guy, but G League, NBA, not the same thing. So, but anyway, he did good, and he and Baisley had 16, so 16 and 14, so they did really good, I thought, of keeping us in the game. And like I said, I'm going to be hard on people, but I'm going to give you credit when credit is due. If you play well and you do what you're supposed to do, guess what? I'm going to give you some love. And my job here is to give an honest analysis. If you do good, you do good. If you don't, you don't. Let's not sugarcoat it. Let's not call it anything other than what it is. When you play well, you get accolades. If you don't, you don't. And kids that know that play for me, they know, hey, I'm black and white. Either you play, you don't. Either you get it done or you don't. I'm not going to try to lie to you and give you praise and stuff when you ain't doing stuff. I'm not doing it. That's just not how I roll. So, but I thought we started out very aggressively. I thought we started rebounding by committee by getting our hands on ball. 4 or 5 guys in there instead of just 2. Like one possession, I think we had Trey Mann down there trying to rebound, and you had Waters, Kreshki, Poku all out top. Like, what are y'all doing? Y'all bigger than he is. Why is he down low? How come y'all like, oh, you're trying to get out in the break and transition? Get your butt in there, get the rebound first. Okay? And then one thing that bothers me tonight, and has been bothering me, is they watch SGA the way he finishes at the rim because he's long. So he gets his hand out, he releases the ball, and we start doing all that finger roll and trying to release. Dude, that's not your game. Okay, that's his game. Figure out what your game is. Work on what you can do. Don't worry about what someone else is doing. Work on your game. What are your attributes? What are your scoring spots? How do you get to the basket? How do you get an open look? What do you need to work on your style? Don't go by with somebody else, because when you start doing that, you're trying to get all cute. You can't get it done. Like Trey Mann missed a couple shots just trying to be cute. Dude, just go in there and be strong. Finish. Get an and one. We don't care if it's cute or whatever. In the books, it's gonna say missed shot, 2 free throws, or it's gonna say made shot and 1 free throw for and one. That's what it's gonna say. So finish. Don't try to get cute. Basically, don't try to go in there and do all this stuff that you're not capable of doing. Just finish. Get your regular forward. Get something right. Your Euro step. People are starting to come and you get enough tape on someone, they know what you do. They see you coming. So you got to go back and work on that. Now, I want to say that we match up with them really well. And we have all year, save the 70-point killing. We match up with them. We just do. San Antonio, we don't. Minnesota, we don't. Phoenix, kind of, but when we have everybody, yeah, we kind of match up with them a little bit better. But we're a G League team right now, trying to play in the NBA. Okay, I'm not the Thunder broadcast. I'm not trying to get out there and lie to you and try to juice all this other stuff up. We're a G League team right now. These are G League players trying to play NBA minutes against NBA players. Not good on our side. And why? Because at the end of the day, when you have to make plays down the stretch at the end of the game, we're not capable of doing those things. And that was clear tonight. We needed stops, and we couldn't get them. And we'll talk about that later on. But at the end of the second quarter, We were 7 for 21. They were 6 of 16 from three. And like I said, Lindy Waters was 4 of 7. He was on fire. He was balling and doing great. We were shooting 39%, then 44, down from their 60% that they shot the first quarter. Remember, they shot 60% the first quarter. They shot 44%. Thus, we had a 28-23 advantage in the quarter, which cut the score down to 54 to 61. So we cut into their 12-point lead, and we cut it down to 7. Why? Simply because we were playing defense by committee. Even though they were knocking down shots, we were knocking down shots. Lindy Waters is a big part of that. We weren't giving them open look. We were getting our hands on the ball. We were finishing and taking it to the basket. And I'm going to say, basically, he was key. And then rebound-wise, it's 34-21. Excuse me, 24-31. Simply because the Thunder was in their rebounding. Guys, everybody's got to get in their rebound. We can't be out there looking to get out in transition. You can't get out in transition if you don't have the damn basketball. You have to get in there, and everybody has to rebound. We can't afford to let people run out and get in transition if you don't have the ball. And we're little. We're not big. We're not athletic. So therefore, teams that are more athletic than us, what? They're going to take advantage of our height and us not being that big. So therefore, our players have to step up as a group by committee. As I've said many times, by committee, you have to play defense and rebound and cut off the lane by committee as a group. Got to get your hands out in their face by committee as a group. Everybody has to rotate out, okay? Because, guys, this is the NBA. People are going to make shots, but you got to get out there and put your hand in their face. So start the third quarter, Thunder down 54-61. Of course, we started with our initial lineup, our starting lineup, SGA, Mann, Baisley, Maladon, and Roby. And then Memphis came out right away and just hit us in the mouth. They made their first 6 attempts. I mean, their first shots, they just came out and hit us in the mouth on a 12-6 run. But Thunder did not back down. We fought back, played good defense, got them into making some crazy shots, got some transitional buckets, got down within 10. And then what happened? We started giving them wide open shots again. You got to get out on defense. Everybody has to rotate through. Okay? You have to rotate through, and we did. We were giving them shot after shot after shot. And one of my keys was what? Getting a hand up in the shooter's face. You can't let them shoot wide open mid-range. You can't let them shoot wide open threes. You got to get your hand up in the face. But we didn't do that. And they shot 50% for the quarter. They were 10 for 23. And we were 10 for 32 total. Why? They shot less threes than we did, but made just as many. Because once again, we think we're a three-point shooting team. We are not. We do not have those three-point shooting stars out there. And we just can't give up on contested shots. You have to get out there. You got to guard. You got to defend. You got to cut off the drive first, or penetration, however you want to call it. Then when the guy gets up, the guy at the top has to rotate down. That guy has to rotate back up. You have to rotate out and get your hand up in somebody's face. You can't allow them to shoot wide open shots. If you do, you're going to be in trouble. But then what happened is, as I was talking about, points in the paint. 34 to 54. 54 points in the paint for them. Because our guys are not everybody standing out there trying to look, expecting somebody else to do the job. You have to rebound by committee. Everybody has gone. We're not athletic and we're not big. So if you're not athletic and you're not big, what do you got to be? Fundamentally sound. So you got to put your body on somebody. Everybody has to go rebound. You can't give up 54 points in the paint. And a lot of that had to do with them just getting any kind of shot they wanted. So at the end of the third quarter, they scored 34 points. We scored 25. So you go 26, 28, 25 for us. 38, 23, 34 for us, for them. And normally Thunder's very good at defense. The first quarter we usually give up a lot of points in the 30s a lot of the times. But then we figure them out. And we drop them down. And then we keep them down. But the third quarter they came out. They hit us in the mouth, like I said. We tried to respond to that and give them a nice run. But that being said, we just couldn't keep up with them. Because guys are just, not everybody's not on the same page as far as rebounding. People trying to get out and score, and that's what happens if you knock down some threes. Oh, let me get my basket. I'm in the groove now. Well, hell, don't mind if you're in the groove. Your man's scoring on the other end. You gotta stop him first. You gotta get the rebound first. You can't win unless you get a stop. The ball, then go down. It doesn't matter if you get a stop, and then they get a rebound, and you get another stop, and they get another rebound, and then they hit a three. So they've had 3 possessions to get 3 points. So they were 1 for 3, 33%. And you got to remember, you got to hold teams to 1 shot. You can't be giving them 2 shots and 3 shots added. This is the NBA. You can't do it. And when you look at the fourth quarter, they were just getting whatever they wanted. They go to the basket. They could hit wide open threes. They would take us off the dribble. We couldn't stop anybody. Steven Adams is killing us inside. They're rebounding whenever they want. Us, on the other hand, we're coming down trying to play hero ball, going one-on-one, can't see the floor. I don't know how many times basically had the ball, he's got his head down, and SGA just sat there and just looked. You can just see him like, okay, he's getting ready to shoot. You just see it in his body language. Like, what are you doing? But that's what Baisley does. He's so trying to prove that he belongs and so trying to prove what a great player is. Bro, no, you're not. And you can just see SGA just looking at him like, wow. And you can just see it. We went 5 or 6 possessions where he didn't touch it. He's your best player. He don't touch the ball. He shouldn't go more than 2 possessions ever without touching the ball. Now, there's going to be times when transition comes. There's going to be times where you make a couple passes and somebody's open, you're going to get a cut. That happens. But when you come down, you dribble, and you decide, I'm going to shoot the ball. And basically, clearly, I'm going to shoot the ball tonight. Because he was having a career night for him. But once again, can't finish at the basket when he needs to. It's not how many points you score. I tell you that all the time. It's not how many, it's when. Not how many, but when you score them. At what point in the game do you make a basket? You know, I see so many times these guys, I got 27. Yeah, you were 5 for 17, but you had 27. And that's the type of thing that doesn't show up. You know, how efficient are you? Scoring points is great, but are you efficient at scoring points? Are you a shooter or a scorer? And it was just frustrating to watch. And I felt sorry for SGA. And it's so funny. You know, my guy Randy Wright, Mr. Lindy Water Under the Bridge. That's, by the way, Lindy, he named you Water Under the Bridge. That was not my thing. That was him. So you blame Randy Wright for that. Well, my guy Mark Long and I are looking at the game, and we're just sitting. He's like, "Why aren't they passing SGA the ball?" I said, "I don't know." Like Krejci, SGA was at the top of the key doing this, asking for the ball. Krejci threw a cross-court pass to Baisley, and Baisley turned it over, trying to take it one-on-one. And you can see SGA's frustration. But we're stuck with what we're stuck with for now. You know, we get Josh back, that's going to end that, because I remember right after the All-Star break, and I talked about this on one of the live streams, was like, he looked at Baisley and they were like, hey, give us the ball. Poku, give us the ball. SGA first, me second, y'all last. Y'all aren't first. He's first option, I'm second option, you third option. But these guys tonight, I'm first option. So the Thunder ended up being 13 for 41 from 3. They were 11 for 29. We shot 42%, they shot 47. 72 to 52 PIP, points in paint. My PIP, points in the paint. 72-52. We only gave up 30 points because, you know, SGA got in his bag and started knocking some shots, and we started knocking down some shots. But when we needed to get a stop, we couldn't. And we really needed to make a basket. The right person didn't have the ball in their hands. When he did, we scored more than we missed. Now, I understand that, you know, these guys got to get playing time. I understand all that. We're doing what we got to do. I get all that. We were hurt. Everybody's beat. I get all that. But at the end of the day, coach, tell them to get the ball in SGA's hands at the end of the game. That's who should have the ball. Every possession in the last 3 minutes, he should not go without having the ball in his hands at least once. Now, teams are doing a better job of trying to get him out of it and letting everybody else score because they know that ain't going to happen. If they take him out and then force him to be more, then what does he do? He's going to turn the ball over because he's trying to do too much because he knows he's got to. Well, the other guys are trying to do too much and they're not able to. Got to and able to, not the same thing. Anyway, the Thunder fall short again tonight. 118, 125. I thought we played pretty well overall, considering we're a G League team playing against NBA players, like I said. But like I tell people, the place was packed tonight, which I was so happy to see so many people at the game tonight. I was so excited about that. I love it when our gym is packed. I mean, you looked upstairs and, man, you know, Loud City was, almost 90%, 95% full. And I love it when it's like that. Now we just got to get the people with the money in the 100s to get their butts back. Club level was full. I had to go in the bar to finish taking notes because I couldn't move. I was so packed. It was so crowded down there where we were. I had to go out to the bar to take my notes so I could get a good feel and explain to you guys what happened in the game tonight. But like I said, Thunder did good tonight except for the PIP. Points in the paint, 72-52, 20 points, too many points, and just think we only lost by 7. You got to get in there and rebound. You got to cut off the drive. You can't let them get can't get them get baskets whenever they want. Things I talked about, keys to the game, did not happen for us. That being said, Thunder fall to 420 and 47. Once again, Memphis 47-21, still third in the West, chasing Golden State and that number 2 seed. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens down the stretch. And I'm still hoping that my 25-game prediction comes to fruition for the Thunder. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the game tonight. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast, the live stream. Remember, be safe tonight. Take care of yourself. Thunder up. Thank you for watching After the Storm. I'm your host, Matt Clark.